Our responsibility as Parliament is, first of all, to certify the certificates from the counties, and also to ensure that the bill that they were debating is the right bill. From a technical point, we know it was the right one, but we need to have it on record that this bill, they debated the bill that was sent to them by IEBC. And when we have 24 of those verified, then we can start our process in Parliament. Now, so the status, as you know, they've started coming in. We have a technical team that was set up by the joint speakers, because it will be done in both the Senate and National Assembly. The two speakers we've set up a technical team that is receiving all those papers, and also advising on what we do. This is the first time we are doing a bill. We're discussing a constitutional amendment bill through the popular initiative pursuant to the provisions of Article 255, 256, 257 of the Constitution. So it's a new experience even for Parliament, and hence the two speakers are consulting widely in terms of how we take it forward. It's not like the other ordinary bills that we do first reading, second reading, third reading, and continue in accordance with our standing orders. So that within the course of next week, we should have some communication on terms of how we introduce it into the House, and the details of the public participation, because it's received public participation across the entire country through the county assemblies. So will public participation at national level be any different from what has been done nationally? And especially the good thing is, with the massive support that the bill has received across the entire country, it shows, people are set. It's not just a threshold of we have only 24 and 23 have said no. If that was the thing, then you need to get more public participation. But that is the decision that will be done by the speakers. Now, in the meantime, we've also been processing a referendum bill that was processed through the Justice Legal Affairs Committee. It's being read a second time, and it's now at a point where people are proposing amendments to it, so that by the time we bring it to the Committee of the Whole, immediately we have harmonized the provisions that were in the bill that was proposed by the Committee on Implementation, then the individual member amendments that will be coming in. When we harmonize all that, we will then bring it to the floor of the House and pass it into a law. But one of the things we made very clear is that we want to delink the referendum bill with the BBI process. It's not coming in for BBI. It's being done for any referendum, any amendment that will come, or any referendum that will be held at whatever point in the future, and including this one. Because if you start doing a law with a specific bill in mind, you end up being, you can compromise on quality and jeopardize the future. So that's where we are in terms of the referendum bill, and I do hope that by the time we are through with it, we have produced the best bill for Kenya, and probably a benchmark for the region, for anyone wanting to do a referendum pursuant to Article 1.
And to matters education, where the Ministry of Education now says no learner will be left behind in the ongoing implementation of the competency-based curriculum. The government says all learners will access modern and recent learning accessories.
That's the directorate that deals with coordination of education services for learners with disabilities and other special needs in the country. So today we had come to this function where the ministry and Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa were distributing the Orbit reader devices, 300 of them, to secondary schools that cater for learners with visual disabilities, and in TVET institutions that also have trainees who have visual disabilities. And that's quite significant, because the device that you may have seen today is an electronic braille writing device that can store lots of books, a lot of, and this can really be helpful for learners because they are able to write using it, and they are able to store whatever material that they've written, including books, that can be loaded onto it. And that is the direction that the world is headed to. Yes, so it's very important. Yes.
You said you have dispatched 300 devices in the near future. These devices come to be used in the national examinations, especially now for the high school learners. Is there room for that?
We may not be able to authoritatively state that they will be used, but the discussions are on regarding considering the possibilities or options that are available. Yeah. So I'll not be surprised if in future they are used, but as we speak, it's discussions that are still on. Yes. Thank you.
Now elsewhere, Makueni County Member of Parliament Rose Museo has cautioned parents to be more vigilant with their children from strangers, as this is to curb the rising cases of gender-based violence in the area. This is after several male students in one school in the area were allegedly sexually assaulted and are receiving treatment. The suspect has been arrested and is being held at the Mtitoande police station.
Usiweze kuamini mtu yoyote na mtoto wako. Unaelewa? Jua ya kwamba mtoto ni wako na ni wewe ndio ulisikia uchungu na ni wewe unajua uchungu wa kulea. Kila saa kaa ukiwa macho tuweze kutunza watoto wetu. Na mtoto usimwache aende sana. Tafadhali uweze kuwa kila wakati unamwangalia mtoto.
Now, over 3,000 youth in Isiolo held a peaceful demonstration calling for the extension of the Kazi Mtaani programs as well as the establishment of Isiolo County Youth Service that will ensure gainful engagement supported by the devolved government. Led by Isiolo Kazi Mtaani Secretary General Nur Juma Osman and Chairperson Adan Hassan, the thousands of youth who took part in the first phase of Kazi Mtaani said that they will not accept plans to allocate the job opportunities to other youth from the rural areas of the county, such as Gabutula and Merit sub-counties, terming it as unfair since the initiative was geared towards helping the youth from the town to secure jobs. The youth have also advised that the government should instead roll out another program, Kazi Mashinani, to benefit youth from rural areas and leave Kazi Mtaani to benefit those around town.
Tunakataa kwa sababu ya nini? Hii kazi sio kazi mashinani, ni kazi mtaani. Sisi ndo vijana wa town. Kama wanataka kuongeza kazi, watengeneze kazi mashinani, wapeleke South.
Wakati tumepewa kazi mtaani, tunafanya mambo mengi ndani ya Manyata. Kuna wale walifungua kibanda, kuna wale walifungua kiosk, kuna wale wanafanya biashara tofauti. Mbeleni hatukuwa naye, lakini sasa tuko na wizi ndani ya Manyata imepungua. Kusumbua mama ndani ya jikoni imeisha.
Kama kazi mtaani haiwezi extendiwa, iko pesa katika county government. Vijana wa Isiolo wamesema waweze kutengenezewa Isiolo Youth Service. Na hiyo nawahakikishia, mukinipatia support, na nataka support ya kila mmoja wenu. In the next 14 days, bill nitaleta kwa assembly. Muko na MCAs ambaye mulichagua nyote, tafadhali muwashike koo waweze kupitisha hiyo bill.
Now, the Narok County government is planning to plant 43 million trees in collaboration with the national government to achieve the 30% national forest cover target. Speaking at a closed-door meeting with the heads of departments, Governor Samuel Tunai has said that their first plan of action will be to protect and improve on the existing forests in the county. The project will bring together the Ewaso Nyiro Development Authority and the Kenya Forest Service and is expected to plant the trees in over 10,000 acres of land in Esupia Forest.
In this country, we must have a forest cover of a minimum of 10%. There are counties, of course, with maybe 2%, 3%, 5%. But in our county, as we stand, the forest cover is actually 15%, 15. And it has been going down because this is one of the counties where the forest cover is supposed to be more than 50% of the land surface of this county. However, we have lost a lot of forest, and the first thing we agreed as the team is that we are going to ensure that our forest in places like in Nyekweri, for example, where we know there is a lot of cutting of trees, that there is going to be strong enforcement teams to stop further cutting of those forests, further cutting of those trees.
That is the task that is ahead of us in the next 3 months. Kwa hivyo tunauliza wakaazi wa Narok County wajiandae kwa upanzi wa miti. Tunataka kupanda miti kwa mashule, makanisa na mahali kwa milima na mahali popote pale kwa boma za watu ili tuweze kupanda miti milioni 43.
And the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, in partnership with the Kenya Film Classification Board, KFCB, and other organizations, have called on the youth through university student leaders to be on the front line in peace building, especially towards the 2022 general election. In a 2-day conference that kicked off yesterday in Mombasa, KFCB CEO Dr. Ezekiel Mutua has said that there is need for the student leaders to be supported in various leadership positions even after they are done with their university education.
Tutawahusisha na vile vile tumezungumza na chuo hiki kwamba tutafuatilia kuhakikisha kwamba viongozi wote wa wanafunzi katika vyuo vikuu nchini Kenya tumechukua orodha yao, majina yao, tunawajua wako wapi, namba zao za simu, na tunaweza wahusisha katika mikakati ya uongozi na policy formulation, kwa maana hawa sio tu viongozi katika chuo, ni viongozi kwa hakika. Wako na akili, wako na masomo, they have the ages on their side, wako na umri ambao wanaweza fikiria sahihi.
We are working with the youth to ensure a peaceful electoral process come 2022 and beyond. And our main message is that the youth are key instruments when it comes to peace building. So we know that sometimes they are misused to propagate hate speech, incitement. But what we are saying from NCIC is that we have an opportunity to work with the youth and to onboard them so that we can ensure that we have a peaceful electoral process come 2022 and beyond. So basically we are saying that vijana ni wale ambao wanaweza zima noma wakati wowote kunapokuwa na rafsha ya noma ama vita.
When we are brought at the round table where decisions are made, where policies are made, we are going to influence the trajectory that this country takes. Therefore, we thank the organizers of this event, and we want to say that we are very much ready. We were ready as at yesterday and the other days. This thing is long overdue. We need to be at the table where decisions are made. We need to have a place in the national conversation.
And on that youthful note, it's time for me to take a short breather, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
They say the way to the heart is through the stomach. This month of love, Throwdown shares with you those amazing food ideas for that candlelit dinner and picnic date. learn those dining etiquette, and avoid those embarrassing moments every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
I have to fight the order.
Yes.
Order.
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health?
Then we start eating right, and that's what I do in my clinic.
With some good Friday vibes. The Morning Cafe with Linda Alela, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. only on TV 47. On the Grind, we bring you different entrepreneurs who give the story of their businesses with love and passion.
I'm a musician forever. This is something that is inborn.
It excites me each day. It's a field that has always excited me.
Because when you show love to your business, it will show love to you.
The most rewarding bit of being a photographer is seeing a bride able to see her images of her wedding and evoke emotion in her and just relive the moment once again.
Get to hear these stories and so much more every Monday at 7:30 p.m. On Coffee with Movie, we bring you great testimonies from amazing personalities.
Wa kwanza alikaa ndani ilikuwa
Welcome back. Now remember, you can always watch us online. That is through Facebook on TV47 Kenya, and that is also across all social media platforms. Now moving on, the government has warned political leaders in Tana River County against fueling animosity and tension on land and the forthcoming elections. Coastal Regional Commissioner John Elungata told local politicians to stop incitement on land and politics. He cited the recent flare-up in Madogo area, which was quelled by security apparatus after alleged incitement among local communities. An elder, Ms. Ruth Komora, wondered why Nyumba Kumi initiative heads had allowed so many new people to settle in the villages without proper documentation.
Wengine wanasema tumefikia maafikiano fulani ya kisiasa na lazima itimike na mambo kama hayo. Wengine wanasema mambo mengine na mambo mengine ya uchochezi. Lakini kama mnavyojua, Kenya ni nchi moja ya kila mtu. Kama wewe ni Mkenya ama hata wewe si Mkenya na uko hapa kihalali, una haki ya kukaa hapa kwa amani, bila kusumbuliwa na mtu na bila wewe kusumbua mtu. Na nimeona hapa jamii ni nyingi, na ninyi kuliko mtu mwingine yeyote, watu wa Tana River mnajua kwamba wakati kuna msukosuko hapa, maisha yanaharibika sana. Ama si kweli? Maisha yanaharibika sana hapa. Sana.
Unaanza polepole mambo huku na huku, mwisho inakuwa sasa ni vita. Lakini mimi nataka niseme hivi. Mkulima mfugaji na mkulima yule analima shamba, sote tunahitajiana pamoja. Kila mmoja anamhitaji mwenzake. Sababu maziwa yao yananunuliwa tena na wale wakulima shamba.
Ndio palikuwa hotspot hapa Tana Delta katika mambo ya vita. Lakini tumeshukuru kwa hiki kipindi sisi tumepata amani, tumeweza kulala, wamama hatukuwa na shida, na watoto hatukuwa na shida katika sehemu zetu. Hata unaweza lala msituni saa hii na hakuna mtu atakuvamia, sio kama vile ilikuwa.
And over to Homa Bay, where as a way of realizing blue economy gains, a group of youth and fishmongers who used to practice sex fish business along the beaches in Sindo area, Homa Bay County, have been empowered with skills on how to embrace cage fishing. This following fish stocks that have significantly reduced, forcing fishmongers to spend days and nights fishing in the deep waters but taking nothing home in return. Now, in a bid to solve this, a private entrepreneur, Victory Farm, has engaged both youth and fishmongers, mostly those who used to practice sex for fish, around the Sindo beaches by training them on how to engage in cage management, fish feeding and hatchery, and now to make it net cages.
It is the fish side of things. So the hatchery takes very technical knowledge, which is being transferred to people, as well as the growing of the fish, the feeding of the fish, the moving and the harvesting of the fish. All of these skills are being transferred onto local people with the intention to improve fish farming in the area.
Cage fish imetufanya tumejua skills mingi kama kuweave, kuosha, tunaweza kutengeneza hata yetu. Hata sisi wanawake tunaweza kutengeneza hapa wengi kwa kuwa tangu cage fish ikuje tumeisha learn mengi about hii kazi. Mbeleni hapo tumejua tutaanza tu zetu hata tufanye. Huko tulikuwa zamani tukienda kutafuta samaki, unakuta mpaka ukwae friend na mtu ndiye akupatie samaki, na hiyo ilileta madhara mingi sana ya kugonjwa, unapata ugonjwa na huko pia umepata kitu kidogo hata haikutoshi.
And in Pokot, the National Development Implementation Technical Committee, led by a section of principal secretaries from the Ministry of Arid and Semi-Arid Lands, have visited the multi-billion Murunyi Soyoi Dam project in Pokot South Constituency, West Pokot County, to check on its progress. The team, led by Micah Powon, said the project was on course despite facing financial constraints. The 9 billion shilling water project is to supply water to Makutano, Kapenguria, Chepareria and Chelibia towns, among other villages in the county, and is one of the key projects initiated by President Uhuru Kenyatta in the North Rift region.
I have two projects. The dam is one of them, and then the reticulation of the water, the movement of water from here to towns like Kapenguria, Makutano, Chepareria and many others is the second project. So today we started visiting the water treatment plant in Cabbage Beach. So we were able to inspect, and the storage reservoirs and tanks we also visited. And in lot 1 of the project we are doing quite well.
The effort by the Jubilee government, to consider our people with such a big project as this one. This is really a very mega dam, designed particularly to give water, clean drinking water, to the city of Makutano, Kapenguria. And then Chepareria, we are saying hopefully also all the way down to Kacheliba by gravity at some point. So this is actually a welcome move by the team from the national government to come and see, because if it stalls the way it had started to look like stalling, the people have waited for so long for that water. You see, after that water comes to Makutano, we will all be getting clean water and reliable source of water.
Now, the Ma elders from Narok County have applauded the Narok County Assembly for passing the BBI Constitutional Amendment Bill. The elders hope that the 3 new constituencies to be created in the county will bring services closer to Narok residents.
Shukuru County Assembly ya Narok kwa kupitisha BBI, na kwa kauli moja tunasema asante sana. County Assembly akiongozwa na gavana yao, kwa sababu walitii mwito wa serikali. Vile serikali walipendekeza, na hata sisi Narok tunasema asante.
tufuate hiyo maneno bila madiwani umepita, bila MCA umepita, bila mabunge wamesema. Lakini ile mtu ingine pengine anaanza kusema kama natangatanga anaanza kusema pengine hapo. Hapana, pita hiyo maneno, sita maambia Maasai wote atapita kwa njia ya president.